Okay, so we can start, sir.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Good day, and it's nice to meet all of you. Fortunately, I'm unable to make it in person the way I've wanted. I was really looking forward to this conference, but for some emergency that came up, I have to make use of new technologies to also speak to people like you here. My name is Oke Umurhohwo. Professionally, I work with ITEL Mobile as a marketing manager for West Africa. My work basically involves creating publicity, awareness, brand reputation, managing brand reputation, and brand equity for the ITEL brand. So whenever you see any ITEL billboard, any ITEL poster, you hear ITEL radio on TV, or you see ITEL signing on Lamide, those are my work. I'm also a political person. Politically, I'm with the biggest party in Africa, the People's Democratic Party, and I've grown in the ranks of the PDP for a long while now, since 2013 when I joined the party. And welcome to the FAY conference. When I spoke with the organizers about this, I told them I would like to share my story. It's not a failure story, but it's an engaging story of you being who you can if you put your mind to it. I keep saying it. I am not from the richest family. We're just okay in quotes. We could eat 2 to 3 times daily. I grew up in Delta State, really to be precise, for my primary and secondary school education before moving to Lagos in 2007 to do my tertiary institution. I come from a family by once you finish your secondary school, we have one of our big uncle just arrange Delta State University or maybe uh, University of Benin. You get admission, you finish. Once you finish, you post you the civil service, and live that type of comfortable civil service life. But I wanted to be different. I just felt it's just too basic, just too ordinary for me just to do this simple thing. I wanted to take the risk to try something different. So I applied for University of Lagos. My family member were like, "Guy, what is wrong? Why are you doing this? Why not Delta State University? Why not? Okay, maybe University of Benin." I said, "No, I wanted University of Lagos. I had to try something new. I had to try something different. Like there should be a break because I knew what I was targeting." And there my story began. I came to the University of Lagos. First failure I had, I applied for medicine and surgery. The exam came cut off, jam post jam. They cut off for about 70 something, and I would add 1 point lower. And that's why I didn't get medicine. Everybody was like, "We told you if it was there, so if it was Unibear, you'd have got your admission." I applied again, jam again, medicine or surgery. And we wrote jam and post jam again. By 2 marks, I lost again. I was like, at this stage, what do I do? That's when I went to the University of Lagos, just trying to network, trying to go meet what was happening. At the restaurant, I met one of the lecturers there. So we got talking, and I found out that he was a lecturer at University of Lagos, the Marine Science Department. So it was like, so in the course of conversation, I got to know I've wrote jam twice, I've failed it, and I didn't get admission. Like with this cutoff mark you keep getting, if you apply for marine science, you get first top five list and you are in school. I said, wow, marine science. I tried did a bit of my own research and found out, well, it's not bad. Let's give it a try. Third time I wrote jam, scored very good in jam once again. Post jam scored very good. And luckily, we cleared the marine sciences entrance exam. It's cut off was about 50. I was scoring almost 60 something, at least 70. So and I got admission to school finally. So you saw the failure I had. And what happened, I have to make some alterations and switch to be able to get into a university. I did my normal 4 years, graduated, went to Abuja for NYC, came back to Lagos to start working fully. Before going for NYC, I had at the end of year 4, I already sent out emails to different recycling and environmental companies because marine science also have a lot to do with the environment. About 5 to 6 of them responded because I was telling them, "Hi, I'm Oke Umurhohwo. I'm graduating from University of Lagos. This. I want to work before my NYS. I'm even willing to work for free." So all of them like, "You want to work for free?" I say, "Yes, I just need the experience. No need to pay me. After 2 3 months, if you find value what I do, then you might decide to give me stipend to cover my transport and all." And like, okay. So I joined one of the recycling company, Recyclers in Lagos. I did just 2 weeks with them before the CEO was like, "I've never seen someone so invested in improving him or herself that you are like one of the most hardworking young people I've met. I know you say you want to work for free, but what I've seen, you can do much more better. So I'm putting you on a monthly wage of 30,000." I was elated that like finally earning salary. It was big for me at that time. I worked with her for almost 8 months. It was really a brilliant working environment, beautiful working environment. She wanted me to do my NYC in Lagos with them, but I already had my mind set in Abuja because of my own political angle. That was I already had something I was doing with the Office of Research and Strategy for former President Goodluck Jonathan. So I wanted to be more in Abuja that 2014, so I can relate more. So last I went to Abuja for my NYC. We're doing the work we're doing before, and we're trying to work harder, hoping Goodluck Jonathan at least will win and we'll find ourselves in bigger offices. But unfortunately, he lost. So after losing, we are all back to square one. Me, most of my friends in the political office. The option before us was stay back in Abuja and be a political boy, like all those political jobbers going from office to the other, and they're trying to be relevant even while they are not invited, or come back to Lagos, reinvent and start all over. The private feed was there for the taking. But some of them said, majority of them said no, that we now stay in Abuja. But being myself and two other of my friends, we all came back to Lagos, about 4 of us. Like, let's get working. We applied, and luckily, 3 of us all got job in different places, and that was how I started my private career. 2015. Yeah, I work with a Generation Enterprise for a special project of the Lagos State Government, Ignite Ideas. It was a project whereby we were giving interest-free loan, about 100,000 naira interest-free loan to a lot of upcoming entrepreneurs, just to make sure they have a sustainable business, that they can support their business idea. So I was managing the process and project, and so meeting with some of these entrepreneurs, hearing them, engage with them, last with the bank, we were working with the first bank, they were all. And I was doing this diligently. The money was not much, in quote, but it was in Ikoyi on the island. If you know Lagos, I have to enter bus from the mainland to Ikoyi every day. My whole salary was spent majorly on transport and food, but I was surviving and know where I was going. So while doing the work, one of my friends that working back from Abuja told me there's an opening IT. I said, IT, who's IT? So they are mobile phone brand. I said, the only mobile phone brand I know is this. Is who are this again? But I went for the interview and I learned about them. The first interview were almost 100 people, over 100 people. Like, remember, like, can I even guess? So this one is most likely there'll be much more qualified people than me. Why am I even stressing myself? I was having this huge doubt in me. Like, okay, let's just give it a try. We did the first interview and it was quite okay. They screened from the 100 plus to about 30 people. So second interview, we went to get different talk. They screened to about 10 people, yes. So the third interview, 10 of us, we came in, the country manager just came out like, we're all sitting together. Like, you, what's your name? My name is this. Second person, what's your name? This. Third person was me, was like, what's my name? I introduced myself. I did a rundown of what I've done, what I'm doing. And also the course of the conversation, I spoke about Naira Land. But like, Naira Land? I said, yeah. I said, Naira Land, you sure? I said, yeah. So I opened my phone, showed him some of the articles I've written on Naira Land, some of my engaging posts. Like, oh, wow. I was looking for someone that can go do Naira Land. I had Naira Land is the biggest platform in Africa. I said, yeah. Well, okay, he just spoke to the HR. This is the person I'm hiring. The rest can go. And that was how I got engaged to ITEL in 2016 as a social media executive, just like that. So, how did I grow in ITEL from a social media executive to a marketing manager for West Africa in just over 7 years? Many people still always think it's magic or maybe there's something involved. No, it's not magic. It's not uh, something any other person cannot do. It's just opportunity, meeting preparedness, and taking my chances. So, as social media executive, I was involved with growing the ITEL social media pages. I was doing my work diligently, and within just about 5 or 6 months, we needed to expand the team. So I was promoted to the role of digital marketing supervisor, so I can employ 2, 3 more people to join me, and we expanded the team. I handled that successfully. The team was growing. We were doing much more tasks. We are having some more marketing funds to do some more work. And we continued like that for another 1 year. Then, towards 2017, after about a year plus, uh, in the company's tradition, there's always this yearly or every other 2 year they promote some people from supervisor to manager. The other guys, the other men, in quote, men and women, they are men. They've been here for many years. I've been supervisor for about 4, 5 years. Me, I was just a supervisor for less than a year. And next thing, they said there is an opening for marketing communications manager. The country manager called me. I remember his point said, okay, you are very good with social media, with digital marketing, but now there is an opening for a marketing communications manager. Can you do it? I'm like, manager, marketing communication, what do I know there? I told him, no, I can't. That's not what I want to do. Let me focus on social media and digital marketing generally. And I left that opportunity. But sometimes that's why I also give glory to God that in everything we do, there's a way God also arrange things to make sure they fall in place. Especially if you put in first, you work hard and put in first. So we did a call for a recruitment for the marketing communications role, and we were finally able to select 3 people. But the salary they all needed was far, far higher than what the company was willing to offer. Imagine the company was maybe offering 400,000, but these guys were demanding like 1 million, 1.5. So, like the following week, my country manager called me again. Are you sure you cannot do this role, this market communications role? When they called me for the second time, I said, okay, sir, let me think over it and I'll get back to you. I called my mom. My mom was like one of my biggest advisor then before losing her. So I spoke to her the situation like, trust your gut. What's your gut tell you? If you can do it, take the opportunity and fly with it. I spoke to 2 other mentors and they also gave me similar advice that sometimes in the part of a company, when opportunity come like this, you should grab them. That there is nothing I'm doing now that I cannot do as a marketing communications manager. That the difference is just the PR aspect and knowing what to say to the media. Like, okay. 2 days later, I went back to meet my country manager. Sir, I want to be the market communications manager. He said, very good, but on one condition. I'll give you 3 months target. If you fail to meet my KPI, I will sack you. And you cannot go back to the digital marketing supervisor because we are replacing you in that role already. I'm like, yes, I'll take the risk. That was the risk. You're leaving a place of comfort where you know the work in and in, where you know everything, and going to somewhere that you've never done before, something you are not sure will work or how you will make it work. That was a very big risk. It's the probability of failing was very high. So what did I do? I told myself that I'm not going to fail at this. I'll make it work. So I reached out to the Techno, Infinix, and the Samsung marketing manager. The Samsung marketing manager didn't respond, but the Infinix and Techno marketing manager responded. They were able to link me up with their PR and communications manager. And I had engaging conversation with them. I told them this is the situation. I don't want to fail. I want to learn what's the corner of this work. They gave me like a crash course, 1 week crash course, and I felt I was ready. So I started doing my work diligently. So with that task, I was promoted to marketing communications manager. I became the youngest market communications manager in ITS, the youngest manager, and it generated a lot of controversy among some people, like how would they make me manage? I was doing my work. First month, KPI of 100, 100 over 100. That's okay. Second month, 100 over 100. Third month, I even outperformed the KPI that the country manager said. At the end of the third month, the country manager was like, you've done very well. I wasn't sure you go to step up, but you stepped up really good and even exceeded our expectation. And I was confirmed confirmed with a new confirmation that I'm now the marketing communications manager for ITA. That was one of the highlights of the career I was having. I was like, oh wow, I can actually make this work. And to be honest, there's really no much work when you look at it. It's just to manage the team, delegate tasks, talk to the media, think of how the customers want your product to get to them, and bring a strategy to make it get to them. Those were the core of the work, and I was already excelling in this. I was able to organize different events as an IT communications manager. We were able to set up the campus activities for IT students, ambassadors. We were able to also sign a brand ambassador. Then had a lot of influencers working with us. We were able to actually move the IT brand from this to somewhere here. So there was steady growth. The indexes were there. And it was working. So while still doing the work, another opportunity came up. The role of marketing manager was vacant. Our former marketing manager had an offer and he left the country. So the role was vacant. This time I did not wait to be told if I wanted to. Went to meet the new country manager. The marketing manager role is empty. I can do this one. There's no need to recruit. There's no need to look for any person. I'm fit for it. He was looking at me like, you can do this, but you don't have experience of BTL. So in the marketing, there's the ATL and BTL part of market. The ATL is above the line. So those are involved in radio, TV, digital, and social media. Those are all under ATL market. So BTL is events, um, managing regional teams, poster, billboard, below the line activities like that. So like it doesn't matter. I've been understudying the old marketing manager. I can do this. I can do that. I can do that. Like you sure say yes. Okay, we'll give you one more try to see what you can do. I was given the opportunity. In 1 month, I was performing far, far better than even the former marketing manager. I was able to set in place structures and make communication between the ITEL Lagos head office and the regional teams. There was better cooperations. We were able to get better, faster results compared to what we were doing before. So the company was like, oh, this is actually fantastic. It's obvious you know what you are doing. And that was how I became the marketing manager for ITEL Nigeria, which I handled for about a year before being promoted to the marketing manager for West Africa, where I covered Nigeria and many other countries. Some of the challenges you see is like the French-speaking country, you have to um, engage with them. So I was able to employ people that spoke both English and French. I have to get an assistant in the office that will support me with the French part. I also took a French class just to be able to brush up my French, and that it's how it has been for the past 7 years, from a social media executive to a marketing manager. It has also come with its own challenges along the way. A couple of times whereby there are internal office politics and you think, maybe this is it, but you always have to find a way to make sure you do not fail. I keep saying it, your failure is not even about you alone. There are a lot of people that look up to you. There are people that your story inspired them to be better. So there's no room for you to fail because it will crash your lot of aspiration. So each time I was met with stiff resistance or challenges, I always think about the big picture. What can we do to make sure we avoid this and become better? That has always been my go-to plan and strategy. And Once I think like that, I always look for two, three, four, five different solutions that solve each problem. So, what will be the takeaway from this? The major takeaway from this for most of you here, some of you have businesses that are failed, but you want to do better next time. Some have businesses that are struggling, you're an entrepreneur, you're never sure of what you want to do or how to grow. So some of the things I would like to take away from this speech so far is that failure is a part of life, but it's how you respond when you fall that matters. Uh, I said I failed my jam twice before getting the third time. I know some people that will just give up, like say maybe school is not for me, and they don't leave. But no, you have to keep bringing yourself back up and thinking of the future. Think of alternative. If the goal is 10, you can get 10 by doing 5 plus 5, 10. You can get 10 by doing 9 plus 1, 10. You can get 10 by doing 14 minus 4, 10. So there are many ways to achieve your goal. You don't have to keep doing something that is not working. Think of other strategies, other ways that you can still get to that goal without doing this the first one that have failed. So you have to learn from your failure and get better at it. So you don't make that same mistake. Then another thing I will say is a takeaway is networking. Most people they want to grow, they want to become better, either at their work or their personal life or their business. But they are at home 24/7. You have to network, attend industry events, meet people, share your challenge, your ideas, your problems with other people in the industry, and you'll be shocked at the network you get, the feedback you get. Maybe some of the ideas that have been bothering you, how do you go about solving this thing? Someone's play toy. But by the time you share it out and someone's like, oh no, you can do this, and you see that, oh wow, this have been bothering me ever since, so easy. So you have to find a way to network with people in your industry. A lot of industry events every other day, every other week. Go online, search. If you are in the entertainment sector, maybe you are a creative writer. Search on Google creative writer event in Lagos, in Abuja, in Nigeria. You'll be shocked the number of events happening. Maybe, excuse me, maybe you are into a social media designing, creative designing, any other thing, just search online for event. Go to this event, meet people that are in similar field with you, share ideas, share contact, network. They will actually help in building your path to avoid failure in the future. Another important takeaway is taking chances. So most people do not see opportunities when they present themselves. So you have to be vigilant. You have to know this is an opportunity, and you have to have been prepared for it. It could have been a major disaster if I had taken the opportunity of being a marketing communications manager with little experience, but I didn't go ahead to to prepare myself. I would have failed spectacularly, and maybe my time in IT would have ended many years ago. So when opportunity come, make sure you are prepared for them. If you know what you want to do or what you want to be preparing for them. Of recent, the whole music scene is being it's been what we're talking about in the music scene of recent is the old Achake, who is releasing music back to back, hits back to back. And everybody was like, this guy doesn't even want us to rest. The guy has been preparing for years, looking for that opportunity, recording, writing, waiting for that opportunity. And Olamide found him. Today, he doesn't want us to rest with good music. Every other month, he's releasing a banger song. That's what they call opportunity means preparedness. You have to be prepared. You have to keep imagining yourself. This is what I want to be. This is what I want my business to be. This is how I want my company to be. So when you imagine how you want to be, you have to be preparing that once you get that fund you are looking for, you can kick off. Once you meet this mentor you've been looking to meet, you can kick off. So you have to be prepared. You have to prepare yourself that once the opportunity comes, you are good to go. Then finally, I know some people might not take it as seriously as it. There's also room for God. It's a major factor. Um, God, you cannot remove the godly factor, this divine, a bit supreme being factor. There are some decisions I've taken with like, I think of both and like, God help me. then I'll make the decision, everything turn out well. Not for once have I said, God help me in this decision I'm making, and it comes out wrongly. Some people might call it luck, but I feel there's a divine being that also arrange our path. So if you believe in prayers, pray. I believe in work and pray. I work very hard, I pray, and everything align. So if you are able to do some of these things, I believe the sky will be your stepping stone, and your name will be heard for good across Nigeria, across the world. Thank you all for having me, and hopefully in the next edition I'm able to appear in person, to meet you all in person, and I'm able to do this much more often. Thank you all again, and have a good day.